is already winning. Satan zero, team guy 100. My V's up, 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 I got that victory, I got that victory.
Well, hello, hello, hello.
Hello, how are you?
Oh man, I'm all good. Say real life technical difficulties, but we made
The
it.
volume is going out. I can't hear you. Can you hear me?
I can. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
For some reason, I can't hear you.
Hmm. Let's see.
My speaker is on, my volume is unmuted.
Okay, can you hear me now? No sound.
Would you like for me to go out and come back in?
Let's try.
Okay, all
Okay.
right, I'll do that.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yes, yes, wonderful.
Hey, wait a minute. Episode one. Technical difficulties.
That's okay.
But it's all
We
good.
made it through it.
We did. And guess what? Episode one is all about you.
Oh, thank you. I like things to be all about me sometimes.
That's right. Hey, listen, this is for the world that didn't know. I'm Gold Ether. This is Gold Ether Speaks. We are here with episode one, live from St. Louis, and we're live from Texas as well.
Yes, we are.
And listen, I could go on. The list of accolades and credentials is crazy, but the world knows her as Dr. Arlene Harden. I know her as Aunt. Yes, we have doctors in the family. Yes, we do.
Yes.
You understand? And so, like again, from DNP to NBA to PhD, you understand, to MS on down to BSN to biology degree, ANP through BC, you understand, family medicine. I could keep going, you know. I just had to give you flowers and toot your horn because that's
Thank
black girl
you. Thank you,
magic.
niece.
And that's black girl magic. But please tell the world
Amen.
who you are.
Thank you. Thank you for that. First and foremost, I'm Arlene Harden. I'm fear of the Lord is the first beginning of knowledge for me.
That's right.
And I've been in medicine for about 27 years now.
Okay.
But first and foremost, Ether, Mina is a niece of mine. And so we go way back to before she was born in
That's
her
true.
mother's womb.
Correct.
And so I have had the pleasure of seeing her go from a young lady to a middle-aged teenager to a lady that's now doing her thing. That first I need to give you your accolades, and I am extremely proud to be on your show, and especially episode one.
Absolutely. And I
And for
thank you for
me,
taking the time out because I know that you're busy. It's 24 hours nonstop, whether it's emails or actual physical work,
yes.
calls, whatever it is. So again, we appreciate you all and what you do because Yeah,
Yes.
we be turning y'all up weekly,
Yes,
daily.
yes, yes, yes.
Oh
Yes,
my
that is
goodness.
true. And a little bit more about me is I have the pleasure of having three beautiful kids. One that's in medical school right now, following in her mother's footsteps.
That's
Yes,
right. Yes,
yes,
girl.
yes. She's
That's
in
right.
St. Kitts.
Absolutely.
And then I have a senior in high school. She wants to become a nurse. So
Oh,
T
praise.
T
That's right.
T.
Yes, 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 yes.
And then my 27-year-old son, he is an EMT by trade.
Okay.
So I think everybody has been in healthcare in my family, amongst my kids. So
Wow.
I thank God for that. And then a little bit more about me is I've had the opportunity to work at a level one trauma center at Parkland.
Wow.
Um, and what they're popular for is pronouncing John F. Kennedy's death back in 1963,
Mm.
when he died. So that is what they're notable for.
Okay.
They have made television shows called Parkland Hospital.
Okay.
um, they are 983 bed facility. I worked there for 16 years.
Wow.
And I had the opportunity of being a hospitalist, dealing with a lot of the trauma patients,
Mm-hmm.
working with them through the COVID pandemic,
Mm-hmm.
working with them through quality regulations prior to them getting shut down. For Medicare and billing fraud and increase in morbidity and mortality,
Okay.
deaths of patients. So that's a little bit about my background. And then now I have a private practice that I'm in.
Amazing.
It's
Wow.
a family practice. And
Okay.
so I work kind of like you were saying, 24/7 in a sense in Ennis, Texas. And
Yeah.
I have the pleasure of seeing babies all the way to death.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
from zero age to geriatric age.
That's right.
And so that's what I care for at this time.
So let's talk about it. You dealt in cardiac. You deal with children, newborns, elders. What else?
I've actually operated in the OR
Okay.
for 8 years. I was a first assist, and that was prior to me going to medical school.
Okay.
I had already worked as a nurse practitioner, had my master's, and I had a surgeon that actually believed in me.
Okay.
And he said, you should go back to medical school.
Mm-hmm.
And at the time, I was like, I had lost a 4-year-old son back in 1999, and that
Yeah.
just changed my entire trajectory on my life. And so I was like in my 30s when he said you should go back to medical school, and I was like, I don't want to go back to medical school.
Right.
I
Right.
I used to when I was younger, but now I don't.
Right. Right. You didn't
Life
see it.
has
You
been
like, hold
life.
on now. Yeah.
Yeah, like
Okay.
I
It's
can't do
time.
this right now. And so he was like, I see something in you. And I was like, I
Yeah.
don't see it. I don't feel it. But
Yeah.
he offered to pay for me to go to medical school. And
My God. Wow.
I thank God,
All
for
praises to
that.
him. That's right. Shout
And
out to him.
yes,
Absolutely.
yes. And so, I will always give Dr. J. Seelan his props. He paid for me to go to St. James School of Medicine.
Wow.
And I feel like giving back to the community is always the way to go.
That's
And
right.
so now I have the pleasure of pouring into my own baby girl, Kalijah, who is in
Absolutely.
St. Kitts. And
On a whole nother level. Yeah.
yes,
So let's
yes.
let's rewind that back. I want to know why you got into medicine, number one.
Hmm.
What really triggered you to say, hey, I gotta do this. I need to help people. I can't get away from this. I see
Hmm.
that I can help. This is for me. What did that for you?
Honestly, I had a child in 1994. His
Yeah.
name was Christian P. Jr.
Yeah.
And he changed my life. When me and my ex-husband at the time had him,
Yeah.
he was born with an intraventricular, intracerebral, and subarachnoid hemorrhage. I was 22 years old. I didn't know what all that meant, them terms of the bleeding. But
Right.
what that meant was he was having the most severe bleeding from the brain that anyone could maintain life.
My
And it
God.
was the worst.
Yeah.
And me and my husband at the time, you know, they was telling us he ain't gonna make it for the first 24 hours. 24 hours passed, and I had a praying mother-in-law, and I had a
Yes,
praying mother-in-law.
that's
And
right.
so I called her and I told her, I said, he's not gonna make it.
Yeah,
Normally when you have a baby, it's a happy time. This was our first child.
right,
And so we're looking confused because after we delivered him, they rushed him out of the room. We
right,
didn't get to see him cry. I didn't get to hold him. So we knew it was something not right. But me not in the medical field understanding what's going on, we
correct,
looking at each other like, okay, what went wrong? Like
right.
something just happened.
Yeah,
And so after they wrote him off, I was more determined to say no. I'm going to allow him to stay alive because every week we had these family meetings because he was in Cardinal Glennon's Children's
hmm,
Hospital in the NICU
hmm,
for almost 6 months.
yeah,
He went to surgery after he was 11 days old for them to put in a VP shunt into his brain
right,
for the cerebral spinal fluid to pump to from his brain to his stomach for him to urinate it out,
right,
so that the brain swelling could kind of go down.
right.
So long story short, he has cerebral palsy and he couldn't walk, he couldn't talk, and I was his eyes, I was his ears,
Mm.
I
His
was
voice,
everything. And
yeah.
so we were codependent on each other, and his dad was very involved, so let me not exclude that.
Oh yeah,
But I'm just talking about my role right now. And so, you know after we lost him, because I couldn't go back to work at that point. I had just got a bachelor's degree when we had him, my first bachelor's degree.
yeah,
And so I couldn't work. I couldn't go back to work or do anything because our son needed us. So we struggled financially,
yeah. I'm
And
sure.
so it was a big struggle. But he had seizures. Um, he had a feeding tube. He was on oxygen all the time. He couldn't walk. So with that being said, I learned how to be a nurse. I learned how to be a doctor
Mhm.
being at home with him because they taught me about all the signs and symptoms to look for if he became into respiratory distress. Do this. We had oxygen at home. Neurologically, if his shunt doesn't pump and he looks like he's not neurologically functioning to his baseline, do this.
Okay.
And so
So you had hands-on training.
I
Good.
did. I
Yeah.
did for
And that
four
means you
years.
did amazing because he
Thank
thrived for a
you.
while versus what they said
Thank you.
couldn't happen.
Yes, he lived for 4 beautiful years and only
Yes.
spent one time in the hospital out of 4 years. And the
Yes.
doctors just they couldn't
Couldn't believe
believe
it.
it.
I
They
know
could
it.
not believe it. It
That
was
was the
nobody
love,
but
though.
God.
That was
Yes.
the love. You understand? He was
Yes.
surrounded by it by so many people, and
He
you all
was.
did an amazing job. I
Thank
know.
you.
I know it was. We can't say we understand what you went through because we will never unless we actually experience it. But baby, he was the cleanest child. You
Yes,
all
he
still
was.
kept yourselves together. You still were lit. Again, if you were hurting, struggling, or in pain, we didn't know.
Yes, that's right. That's
You know,
right.
so when I say God is beautiful and was transparent, and he was blessed to have you all, and I'm glad that he
Yes.
was born into this family and was able to
Amen.
spend the time that he did.
Yes, yes,
Absolutely. I think he brought you
yes.
all closer in that
He
time, the
did.
family closer, probably closed some gaps that, were happening amongst some things. And yeah, he
Yes,
was a light to the family and will
he
always be.
was.
Yeah,
Yes, yes,
yeah,
he was. And
absolutely.
that's what caused me, when Dr. J. Sealand said that,
Right,
years later,
yeah.
I never forgot about, little Chris, and I never will forget about my son.
Right,
But the
absolutely.
impact that he had on me, I was like, I can help others, and I can help kids at some point. And I can be the one that works against all the odds,
Yeah.
because if we could survive that and we didn't know what we was doing, certainly I could help somebody else that
And
survives that.
imagine the knowledge behind it. Then you get the knowledge and educate. Oh,
Yes.
it's over.
Yes. I know, knowledge is power. I used to read
Absolutely.
up on neurological conditions and cerebral palsy and how the brain works. So
Hmm.
I was self-taught back then, on how to take care of my baby. It was all about him. And
Hmm.
so when Dr. J gave me that offer, I did take him up on it. And so he paid for me to go to St. James School of Medicine in the Caribbean. And I chose the Caribbean route because I was already in healthcare at the
Mhm.
age of 32. I'd already had a doctorate and all of that. So
Yeah,
it wasn't even a necessity at that point for me to go. It was something that I just felt like I needed to fulfill as a calling. And so
absolutely.
I answered my calling. And
That's
so
right.
that's
And
where
when
I
you
am today.
speak about the shunt, I have a very good sister that has Kiori, and she
Hmm.
had the shunt put in years ago. It's
Hmm.
actually not working right now, and she's just been doing a lot of natural things on the other side, along with prayer, and just really living a different life because she didn't want to go back under the knife. So when
Hmm.
we talk about the healthcare field,
Hmm.
and say your patients, or even me, when I'm saying, okay, hey, I'm giving my 3-year-old natural elderberry. He's getting his vitamin C, D, vitamins every day. He drinks smoothies. What would you consider that going against traditional medicine, or are we taking natural preventative measures along with utilizing natural health care? Because he goes to Cardinal Glen and my son, we go get our checkups, we do all that. But the
Hmm.
doctor said, hey, it's working. Whatever you're doing, keep doing it. If
Yes,
you want beet juice,
exactly.
give him beet juice. If you
Yes.
want to study more on these vaccines, study more, no problem. So I love my doctor. You understand? He's quite amazing.
Hmm.
Indian, great guy.
Hmm.
And I told him, I'm steady studying, I'm steady looking into these vaccines, but in the meantime, we're going to hold off and I'm going to continue studying. Not rejecting, just doing
Right.
more studying. So what do you say about those type of people like me?
I would say that that's holistic traditional medicine, and in those herbs, they work. And when we studied those back from our ancestors, they worked. So I don't know why we got away from them, to be honest with you. Beets are working for anemia,
Yeah,
beets work for immune systems,
yeah,
garlic still works for high blood pressure.
yeah,
So, and these have been tried, tested, and proven.
yeah.
But we have
Not
just
me
gotten
making it
away
up.
from
Can we say that again? Listen louder, y'all.
it.
It's not gold either. I tell y'all to look it up. Can you say that again? It's
Yes,
not
that's
made up. It's
yes,
studied.
yes. It's been studied and it's been tested and it has been proven. And
Yeah.
so medically, when we studied these things, everything that you're saying has been proven. The pharmaceutical companies make money off of us when we start
Um,
prescribing those medications. So I
yeah.
would look at you and tell you, if calcium works, take it. If
Right.
vitamin D works, take it. Because
Absolutely.
I'm going to do that first for my
Correct.
own personal self. So
Correct.
I'm not all about just pouring medicine down somebody's throat.
Oh yeah.
When people start coming, I meet them where they are. So if
Mm-hmm.
there's more of a holistic approach or naturopathic medications, I'm all for that. And guess what? I tell them these have been studied,
Yeah.
So my grandmother used this, my mother did this, taking honey. Honey
Yeah.
helps the immune system.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of things out there that people I think have forgotten about, but it works. The old school stuff
But we're
works.
new. This is new age, and it's witchcraft. And oh,
Right.
she's in the kitchen
It ain't
mixing.
witchcraft,
Listen,
baby.
listen.
No, it's not.
If I can go
It's
out in that
yeah.
backyard and grab some dandelion out
Mm-hmm.
my yard and clean them
Hmm.
and soak them and make a tea, and now I'm no longer bloated or cramping for my menstrual,
Yes.
leave me alone.
Yes. Exactly. Amen to that. And it
Yeah.
works because I
Yeah.
tried one of your products, your one of your herbs that you told me about. So
Yeah.
her products do work.
That's right.
Tested and tried. So
That's
it
right. You
works.
better act like
And
you know. Listen,
you're
I mean,
right.
like you said,
With
that's
the
where it
immune
started.
system.
That's where it started. Before there was
Yes.
penicillin, before there
Yes.
was any of this, what none of that. They were in the
Right.
yard, in the gardens, in the
Yes, they
woods.
were.
There weren't
Yes.
cads.
Humming.
We were using sticks
Yes.
to make cads.
Yes.
Like,
It
come on.
was.
So
That's so true.
even baking soda. That's one of the most
Oh,
powerfulest things in
absolutely.
the kitchen.
Yes, you can use baking soda for anything, for your stomach. You
Yeah,
can use it for even my gnats that be in my kitchen. You can
correct.
use it for your skin. You can use it for so many different things. Like
Yes.
I take it, you can take
Cleaning.
a teaspoon and it'll cleanse you out.
Mhm.
So people don't understand that those things that Ether is talking about is real. It
Yeah.
works.
Yeah.
So
And it's been here
continue to
before
purchase
me.
a product. And it is all
Yeah.
natural, and it's
That's right.
beneficial too.
That's it.
And this ain't no sales pitch. We didn't practice this, y'all.
We didn't practice this at all. Yeah, it's in real time. You getting real information. No
Yes,
faking here. You
absolutely.
understand? So let me ask, what is it about being a black woman in this healthcare field that taught you about perseverance and leadership?
You know, that's the thing. When you walk into the room, you're going to get looked at, you're going to get side eyed.
Okay.
So, you almost, as a triple minority, being a black woman,
Mm-hmm.
being a black, being a female,
Yeah.
and then of course you already a minority. So
Mm-hmm.
being a triple minority, coming into somebody's room, trying to tell them who feel entitled already, who feel
Right.
like they've read everything on Dr. Google,
Mm-hmm.
who feel like they know it all. It
Mm-hmm.
becomes very challenging sometimes for me. And so one thing that you have to understand, you have to be confident and you have to be competent, because if you're not confident,
Mm.
they will kill you, and I'm talking about your patients. They will
Mm-hmm.
break you down, so you have to go in. And after working at Parkland, it's like I've seen it all.
Seen it all.
So it's like that's the minority, but it's been with the minority population. So now when I'm dealing with the upper class and the Caucasian population and other minorities, as Indians and
Mm-hmm.
as other heritages and ethnicities, I have to think about, okay, how to treat them and to meet them at their level. Because sometimes, with for example, the African population, I go to Nigeria every
Mm-hmm.
couple of years. They look at women different.
Yeah.
Women are not equal to them. So
Yeah.
you have to understand your lane and your place and how do I approach them and
Mm-hmm.
how do I deliver this information to them in a gentle, respectful manner so that they will receive what I'm saying. So you have to build a trust and relationship. And how do you build that trust and relationship in 15 minutes with someone? It takes
Mm-hmm.
listening, it takes eye contact, and it
Mm-hmm.
takes you getting their paradigm and that's their worldview on how they feel about health. And you ask them, what is it that you think? How is it that you feel about this? And so then you start to get their trust because they understand first and foremost, she cares.
Yeah.
Because she care about what I say.
So you're
Oh,
able
she's
to adapt
listening.
to the
Yes,
environment versus
absolutely.
forcing one way.
Yes. And once I get that, that's where I meet them where they needs are. And that's how I'm able to build up my patient population because it's very versatile and I can be very versatile and understanding and empathetic. And
Yeah.
then I always kind of tell a little bit about myself, but not too much so
Mm-hmm.
that they can relate to it. So I let them know that I'm human, that I have had things that I've gone through. So when they are going through something that is so severe, I let them know, oh, yeah, I've been through X, Y, and Z. And so when I was going through that, this is how I handled it. And I keep it brief, but I keep it professional. And
And
then that
enough,
makes
like
them
you
open
said, to
up.
build a relationship to where they can open up.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Because if you're not going to get them to open up to you, you're not winning at all. And they ain't
Mhm.
going to come back to see you.
Okay.
And so you have to be very, again, competent. Competent is knowing what you're talking about,
Yeah.
knowing, how to triage, how to go through all the possibilities, how all the differentials and what's going on with them. That's the easy part. The
Yeah.
hard part is when you walk in that room and build up trust. That's the hardest part because they got to see you past the skin tone and they got to hear you and that's where it is. They got to hear what's coming out of your mouth and how do I articulate and how do I speak to them on a level where they can understand it. Not how can I speak to them on a level where I can, because
Mhm.
I can talk to a black patient. I can be hood and, yeah, girl, I get that.
Right. Right.
And they can relate to me.
Yeah.
But then, how do I talk to somebody that's, making
From
a lot of money and
leadership.
highly educated? And then
Mhm.
now how do I articulate this to them? And then
Correct.
now I start, okay, this is hyperlipidemia, things that
Mhm.
we have to do to change your diet. And
Yeah.
then the etiology, I start to use medical terms as opposed to just being a little more lackadaisical. But again, I do ask them, what is it that you need from me? And
Yeah.
that approach works about 99% of the time. Sometimes you always gonna meet resistance because everybody ain't gonna like you. And
Yeah.
I understand that. I get
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Everybody just not gonna like
It's
my
it's
approach.
okay. It's 1,000 strands of tea. Now choose one.
Yes,
I may not be it for you.
exactly. And I'm
And
okay with
that's okay. That's
that.
right. And please tell the world, just like you can drop us as patients, we
Mhm.
can withdraw from
Oh,
being your client.
absolutely. And anytime you feel uncomfortable when you go into your doctor's office and you feel unheard, you can fire them. And when I say fire them, you can write a note and
Mm.
you can let them know I will no
No
longer be
longer.
your patient. And you
Okay.
send that to them and to your insurance company, because some people have HMOs and they have to have a
Availability.
primary care that's assigned to them. So if
Oh,
you have an HMO, you have to let them know I don't want to see this doctor anymore. So
yeah.
switch me, and this is who I need to be switched to, or find me someone else because it didn't work.
Yeah.
Otherwise, but you do have to follow the appropriate steps, but you definitely can. And look up license numbers and find out if they have previous reports against them.
Yeah. History.
Also, look at reviews.
Yeah.
Reviews are very important. You want to review when you look at clothes, when you go to the shopping center.
Look, we gonna
Um,
do food reviews. Get your butt on there and look up that lawyer, that doctor,
Exactly.
that
Thank
car
you.
dealership, that
Yes,
neighborhood, that realtor. Absolutely.
absolutely.
Hands
That's
down.
what you want to do. And you
Yeah.
want to make sure that they don't have any complaints. And if they do, what are they complaints? And then, so before you even go in there, that gives you already winning, because you already know what to look for and if this is going to come out.
Yep, you
And
did your
just,
homework.
yes.
That's
So I
right.
say, everybody do your homework before you go to anybody doctor's office. And
That's
when they
right.
come see me, I always ask them, "How'd you hear about me?" I'm nosy.
I need to know, was you referred or
Right.
walked in? Absolutely,
Yes.
because
Are you just coming in here to be nosy, or what? What? Come on, tell me. Who referred you? Or did you read a review on me?
yeah,
You know, and they'll laugh, because sometimes that's an icebreaker.
yeah,
You have to know how to
absolutely.
break the ice with people too. Because a
Oh
lot
yeah,
of people say they have white coat syndrome, or they just don't like coming to the doctor. Or they haven't been to the doctor in 20
at
years
all. And
and they
just
ain't got no intentions of wanting to keep coming.
it's
They
gonna
was in
take for them to keep
hospitalized.
bleeding to come on out. Like men, a lot of men, they don't want to do nothing. It could take for them to be bleeding somewhere, some hole, for them to go on in. I don't understand it. It's a lot of them. I've watched it for decades, and I gotta run it back because I wrote it down and I'm looking at it. But a lot of people, yeah, I gotta hear this out loud, and you gotta hear it out loud too. But again, Dr. Arlene Harden, DNP, Doctor of Nursing Practice, University of Texas at Arlington, MBA, Master of Business Administration, University of Texas at Tyler, PhD, Doctor of Philosophy in, say that word, epidemiology,
Epidemiology.
epidemiology, Trident International University, MSN Nursing, Nurse Practitioner Training in Texas Women's University, BSN, Bachelor of Science in Nursing University of Missouri, Biology degree, University of Missouri. Shout out to AMP, BC, adult practitioner. I'm like, click it off. We got post master's FNP certificate listed as in prior university. Man, a shout out to you. Like, I hold on. Shout out to you. That is, man, listen. I had to read those off because it means so much in our community. It means so much. That's
Yes.
big. That's huge. That's attached to you. Can't nobody take that from you. Can't
Amen.
nobody take that
Amen.
from you.
Amen.
Hold on, listen. We gotta give applause. Listen.
Thank y'all.
Applause because, man, that is, people don't understand how hard it is to stay in your mind, to know who
Yes.
you are, to go
Yes.
for what you know. You understand? And when we talk about
Yes.
mental health, we can get into it. When we talk
Yes.
about mental health, and a lot of people like to say that the word narcissism and toxic and all that just came about. But guess what? We didn't know those words because they weren't utilized then. Now
Correct.
we know the behavior and the word is now relevant, so we utilize it.
Yes.
And a
Yes.
lot of us deal with narcissism. Some of us are narcissistic, not
Yes.
daily. It's a
Yes.
trait that we may use knowingly or unknowingly, but
Mhm.
we deal with it daily. You
Yes.
understand? So let's talk about mental health because I have my show right now because my mental health, because I
Mhm.
know who I am, because I
Mhm.
had to take a chance on me, and
Mhm.
that's just it, and that's all.
Yes.
So let's
Yes.
talk about mental health in the field that you're in. Do
Okay.
you feel that a lot of people are dealing with mental health from post trauma, childhood trauma?
Yes, I do. And I'm glad that you said that. So, for mental health, there are different categories of different mental health diseases. Just
Okay.
like medical diseases, we have a lot of mental health categories. And the
Okay.
most top five common categories of mental health we can say is depression is one.
Okay.
And then the number two is anxiety.
Right.
And then number three is a mood disorder such as bipolar.
Okay.
And then number four, we can talk about some schizophrenias,
Mm-hmm.
paranoias,
Mm-hmm.
or manic. All of that will go under that one. And
Okay.
then out of any of these can be PTSD, and that's post traumatic stress disorder.
Right.
And that can start at any age, along with any of these above diagnoses. And
So
they
can we
do start at childhood. Traumatic.
clarify that PTSD? Is it safe to say that you can obtain PTSD without having any type of military background?
Oh, absolutely.
I just want
So
to clear
what
that up.
PTS? So
Okay.
what PTSD essentially is that you have experienced some sort of trauma, or you have been involved in a trauma, you have witnessed a trauma, or you have seen a trauma, and it has not gone away from you and it has affected you. It has nothing to do with the military. We do have people that went to the military and they have PTSD and
Right.
they have seen things. And the same thing, they've seen a trauma, they've seen death, they experienced fear, they experienced depression, they experienced anxiety.
Mm-hmm.
So it all leads to PTSD. The diagnosis becomes post traumatic stress syndrome when we're dealing with it for 3 months greater. And that could be depression, and
Okay.
that could be anxiety,
Okay.
and that could be schizophrenia or bipolar. You can have multiple comorbidities that come along with post traumatic stress disorder. So
Okay.
that is a secondary cause to something. So PTSD is always a result of a depression, a trauma.
Mm-hmm.
So these are secondary things that we diagnose.
Mm-hmm.
So did you witness a trauma at an early age? Were you abused verbally? Were you sexually abused? Were you physically neglected? Did you have abandonment issues? Did you have neglect issues? A lot of children have parenting or daddy issues,
Right.
abandonment issues.
I'm
They have
sorry, ma'am.
mama abandonment issues.
Mm-hmm.
And then it turns into PTSD
Mm-hmm.
because you are seeking love that you did not get as a child, and you
Mm-hmm.
start to seek it in the wrong
Wrong
places.
places.
It turns into a problem, and the problem, what it turns into,
Yeah.
is that you're seeking love from the wrong place. So we make the wrong decisions.
Mm-hmm.
And that is how it turns
Yeah.
into trauma. And so, for example,
Mm-hmm.
we don't have boundaries when we are going through PTSD. We have
Let's talk
broken boundaries.
about
So what a boundary is you tell somebody, if you let's be simple with your child. If you ain't home by 6 o'clock,
it.
I'm gonna beat your butt. That's
Mm-hmm.
that's
Right.
just my boundary.
My
So
boundary.
your child come in at 6:30. And what do we do? Well, it's 6:30. I told you 6 o'clock. So the next time, if you don't come in at this time, so you push your boundary back.
Yeah.
So you're not even holding up to your initial boundary.
Nope.
And this is what we often do in life.
Mm-hmm.
In so many situations, we give people the benefit of the doubt when
Over
they don't
and
deserve
over
it,
and
and
over.
we push their boundary and we push our boundaries back
Mm-hmm.
and back and back. And they look at you and then they study you and
Mm-hmm.
they know that they're
They know
going to
you're
get
gonna
away
keep
with it.
pushing. They gonna
Yes,
take it to
even
the
as a
limit now.
child. So
Yeah.
they learn early on that, oh, mama don't mean this.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna start getting her at 6:30. Cause
Correct.
then now you're gonna push it to 7 o'clock anyway. You ain't
Correct.
gonna do what you said. And this is how we grow up and become having disorders as PTSD,
Mm-hmm.
because we don't know how to set boundaries and stick to boundaries,
Mm-hmm.
because we worry about what the other person thinks and how the other person
Don't
feels.
feel.
So we
Mm-hmm.
become codependent on other people and not self dependent on our
Mm-hmm.
own self. So, what a codependency is, we feel the need to try to be a people pleaser as
Mm-hmm.
opposed to upholding boundaries.
Yeah.
And this is one of the biggest mental health things that leads us to having depression, to
Mm-hmm.
leading us to having anxiety, to leading us to having mood disorders,
Yeah.
and to feel highs and lows. In a mood disorder, you can be extremely depressed and then you can feel extremely
Mm-hmm.
high. But it's a chemical imbalance that we suffer from at times when we have that. We lack serotonin, we lack dopamine. And those are natural chemicals that our brain produce.
Yep.
But when we have these problems with these disorders, our brain is not properly producing them. And so we don't have all of the cholinergics that our body needs, such as the dopamine.
Yeah.
And so we don't think like a regular person because we're lacking that. So
Yeah.
we're seeking love in all the wrong places, and we're
Ooh.
missing boundaries in all the wrong places. And
And
so now when we're in our 40s or 30s or 20s, and we're wondering, why am I why am I smoking weed?
right.
Or why am I addicted to drugs?
Yeah.
Or why am I on these pills or Xanax, or what's wrong with me?
Mm-hmm.
It's because we missed something in our childhood and
Mm-hmm.
it got overlooked. And most black people and minorities feel like we ain't gonna talk about it. We gonna just deal with it.
Correct. And
A
suppress it.
grown man, we suppress it. A grown man ain't supposed to cry. A
Oh,
grown woman ain't supposed to cry. What
right.
do we do when our kids fall? Get up and don't cry and keep
Right.
moving.
Suck it
We
up.
don't.
Wipe
Yep.
your face. Yeah. You're right.
And that's what we do. We are supposed to suck it up and wipe our face, and then we start breaking down. Now we having mental health issues
Mm-hmm.
that has been with us for
You're too
years.
emotional.
Yes. And
Mm-hmm.
now we become too emotional, and we could have gotten this taken care of 20 years ago,
So now I'm
25 or
going to
30
become
years ago.
avoidant, and I'm not going
And
to speak
now
the truth.
you're
I'm not
not
going
dealing
to.
with it.
Yeah.
So the approach is avoidance. And
Mm-hmm.
when we want to avoid it, all we're gonna do is continue to repeat the same cycle, and that same cycle is attract the same type of person, not
It
set
just
the
look
same
different.
boundaries.
It just look
Exactly.
different because you didn't
Yes.
get the
Yes.
lesson out of it. You didn't start the
Exactly.
boundary. You didn't stop the cycle. So now I'm gonna bring a nice little taller one with a little more hair, a couple more
Yes.
degrees, but he got the
Yes.
same qualities
Yes.
as previous. So now you're repeating history. And see,
Yeah.
even in my divorce, when I say I had a form of PTSD throughout the divorce,
Mhm.
people say I'm
And I'm sorry
extreme,
about that.
but absolutely not. I
No.
experienced all of those emotions.
Mhm. And PTSD will put you in the biggest depression, and then it will make you question everything, and it will kill your confidence,
It
and
did.
it will kill your confidence. And when
I
I
felt
say kill it,
unloved. I
you
felt
feel like a
abandoned.
failure, and
Yeah.
you feel like you're nothing, and you feel like you're not worthy of
Mhm.
love, and you feel embarrassed, you feel ashamed, and like you said, you felt unworthy, and you
Yeah.
felt unloved, and you felt like you deserved to not be loved. But we all
Absolutely.
deserve to be loved.
Yeah.
And see, the thing about what we need at that moment is counseling, psychotherapy, or prayer, and psychotherapy and journaling. Write down how we're feeling. Because your feelings are valid, A, and your feelings are real, B. And
And
then when you
matter.
talk to somebody and you meet someone, what we need to not do is self disclose and give them the playbook to who we are. So
My
if
God.
you tell somebody, my name is Arlene. My favorite color is purple. I like ice cream. I like to travel. Guess what? When you get that person, what they gonna do? Give
Bye.
you pinks,
Ice cream. Purple
travel,
fluffers.
give you
Trap.
ice cream. So they
Guess
fit in
what?
everything. So you didn't gave them the DNA to you. So
Mhm.
now you're gonna attract the same type of person that you have attracted before, and the cycle is going to continue. And you're not gonna set boundaries, and you don't have any boundaries,
And you're
and
gonna turn
all
them
you're
red
seeking is
flags
love.
green instead of
Yes,
red. And guess what?
exactly.
I told my ex-husband, every man in my life has abandoned me. And what'd he do?
Abandon you. And
Everything
you,
that
yeah,
everyone did before, and then it triggered me to go back in the past, which I'm trying to
yes,
stay away from. Now I'm
yes,
thinking about my dad. Now I'm thinking about my lack thereof relationship with my brother. Now I'm
yes,
thinking about my husband. Now I'm thinking, you understand? It triggers old wounds, which create old thinking, old habits. Now my self esteem is low. Now I got anxiety. Now I'm
yes,
questioning everything. Now I'm mad at my daddy, my granddaddy, his daddy, and his daddy. You understand?
yes, Yes. And that's
And
what
when
it
they
does.
say we're toxic, oh, you got too much trauma. I do, because you never healed the wound that I put a band-aid over, and you
Correct.
steady ripping it off.
Yes. And that's the problem right there. And that's when we need therapy. And the problem is people don't like to go to therapy because people feel like they're crazy.
Yeah.
I don't want to go talk to nobody. I don't want to tell no stranger my business. Okay, well, if you can't talk to a stranger, then talk to God
You can
and
talk to
then
somebody.
journal.
You gotta talk to
But
somebody.
talk to somebody because that's the safest thing to do. And cognitive therapy, you really got to get down to the childhood because these feelings started at an early age.
Tell them
Why?
again. See, I didn't do it to you. Your mama did it to you. You was mad at
Right.
your mama. Your first love, the first impression of
Yes,
how you should be treated, the first outlet
exactly.
of emotional intelligence. So you weren't mad
Yes,
at me. And once I start
correct,
connecting and understanding that it's where he came from,
correct.
it wasn't me, then I was
Yes,
okay, because you be like, I don't deserve this. But when you
correct.
go back over their history, oh, his
Yes,
mama.
yes,
That's a whole nother episode, right there.
yes. These
But
daddy
a
and
lot of
mama
people don't
issues can
want to
go
say
on and
it.
on because it's
Absolutely.
abandonment issues.
It is.
We have true abandonment issues. We truly have mother abandonment issues. There is a diagnosis. We
Man,
truly have daddy fear of abandonment issues. And what that does as women is it causes us to fear every man that come into our life that they're going to walk out just like the last one did. And so now we're already speaking it into
yeah.
fruition. And so we're telling them too much already.
Baby,
And
Morris
so
Chestnut
now
can come right now, and
you're
I ain't
giving
gonna
them
be
the
ready.
formula.
It still ain't gonna
Yes.
be ready.
Yep.
You understand? Even though I
Mm-mm.
know he not. You understand? I know,
Correct.
but
And we know. And we know.
mm,
But
mm,
we seeking something that we know that we're not gonna find, but it's a temporary fix that we're putting a band-aid on top of something that as soon as it doesn't work, you pull it off and that scab opens right back up because
mm.
you have not healed. And healing takes time, and healing takes consistency, and healing takes for you to deal with some painful
Ooh.
stuff, and for you to do some crying at night, and from
Talk
you to
now.
talk to your inner circle, and for you to talk to God and understand, because I had to do it myself and I'm still in the healing process. I go to
Yeah,
therapy every week on every Tuesday because I'm working on me.
that's
Because
right.
I learned from my own personal self that I'm a codependent person, that I have been a people pleaser for so long. I forgot what makes me happy. So
Woo!
y'all see me on videos smiling, and that's all I'm gonna give you.
That's
But you
it.
don't see me when this video ain't on, baby. You don't see the tears that I cry.
Woo!
You don't see that I'm second guessing my own personal life.
In
I
real
ain't talking
life.
about my professional life because I'm a
Yes.
human first. So you got to deal with these things. Now,
Yeah.
how and when are we going to deal with it? Because I'm in my 50s and I'm just
Thank
dealing with
you.
it. So,
Thank you.
so
But then they
when
mad at you when you start dealing with it, because
exactly.
coming along with dealing with it come them boundaries. You
Yes.
understand? And then them
Them real
boundaries,
boundaries.
aka the mirror that turn it around,
Yes.
make you understand who you are. People don't
Amen.
like seeing
Yes.
who they are. It
Yes.
bothers them, because I ain't gonna hold you. If you're
Correct.
around me, I'm either going to make you become better,
Correct.
you're not gonna like me. You're either gonna
Correct.
be exposed or you're gonna grow. That's the
Yes.
only type of relationship I can have with anybody. And most
Exactly.
people I trigger. And
Yes.
guess what? Even some of the qualities in my ex-husband, it was
Mm-hmm.
qualities that I had in me.
Uh-huh.
It was a mirror back on me. So it wasn't just him. Don't get it
Right.
twisted. I never said it was him.
Right.
But he sure didn't lead and change it and fix it.
Correct.
But we both
Exactly.
played a role, but I gave him a role to lead, to provide, to profess, and he
Yes.
wasn't taught that in his home. So how can he give me something that
And
he
he
was
wasn't
never
taught.
taught? Just because your
Amen.
parents was married 50 years don't mean they was happy.
Hey
You got,
man, they could
you
have
got
slept in two
listen.
separate rooms.
You got one that's an atheist, one that's a Christian. How that
Oh,
work?
that's unequally yoked
How that work?
already.
50 years?
Already unequally yoked. They
50
probably,
years?
yeah. Mm-mm. That's a
No, you
spiritual
couldn't tell
warfare.
you couldn't tell your son to come back home to me. No, you couldn't tell him to go to the altar. No,
Correct.
because you're seeing someone else do with your son what you couldn't do with your husband.
Correct.
And that
Amen.
one right there reminded you
Come on with
of your
that.
husband. You said
Come
this
on.
heifer came in. She too strong. I don't like her.
Yes.
Cause she,
Yes.
baby, she didn't like me from day one. But daddy like, what's up, baby? What's up, daughter-in-law?
Amen.
How you doing?
Yes. And you know why? Because it's a spiritual warfare
Woo,
and it's
child.
spiritual wickedness in higher places. And that's what that was. It was the spirit that's within you that she didn't like.
Yeah,
She
thank
didn't
you.
like your spirit because
Thank
y'all
you.
were unequally yoked.
Thank
Because if
you.
she's an atheist and you've been a Christian all your life and you Holy Ghost filled and you know the spirit,
The
and the
light in
Bible
the
say
dark,
try the
baby.
spirit by the spirit, and that was a demonic spirit. So she did
Woo!
not like that.
No, she didn't, baby.
That's
Wanted him
why.
doing more for her home than ours. You understand? Willing to make
Yes.
him come out in the snow for her home. You understand?
Yes.
So I
Yes.
saw all of those things, but when I addressed it,
Exactly.
it looked like an attack.
Yes.
And that's
And a
why a
form
lot
of
of brothers don't
manipulation.
know in the
He
marriage.
probably felt like you were trying to manipulate him when at the end of the day it was her that was manipulating him. And when
Has
you
she?
speak on narcissism, I'm
Ooh.
going to I'm going to talk about narcissism because narcissism is something that we really need to be aware of.
Hmm.
Narcissism is the inability to care for others. I'm
Hmm.
going to be clear, the inability to
Ooh.
have empathy for others, the
Hmm.
inability to have love for others because you don't love yourself. You lack self esteem in yourself. You can be the life of the party and be the biggest narcissist.
Mm-hmm.
And most people that are narcissists are highly social and highly sociable.
Uh-huh.
And people really like them
They
until
really
they
do.
get to know them. But
Mm-hmm.
they're highly controlling, they're
Mm-hmm.
highly insecure, they
Mm-hmm.
are a liar. They
Mm-hmm.
are a manipulator
Ooh.
and they gaslight you and they start to make you think that you're the crazy one.
Ooh.
So you start to question everything that you do because of somebody else's own insecurities. And they will swear that it's you when
Mm-hmm.
they have not looked in the mirror to look at their own self to
Mm-hmm.
understand this is what I'm doing and it's a pattern. They typically have unsuccess at their jobs because they can't keep one. They
That's
typically have multiple failed relationships because they can't keep
keep
one.
one.
They are typically known as a liar amongst the ones that know them because all
Excuse
they
me.
do is lie, and
Mm-hmm.
manipulate.
Mm-hmm.
And when they manipulate you, they truly believe it. So this is the problem with the narcissist. Why it's hard for them to get treatment. There is no medication out there for a narcissist. Let's be clear. So it ain't no medicine out there. So we can't just bring them in and sit them down and pop a pill. They need therapy.
Listen, if
And
it
they
was
not
that
gonna get
easy,
it.
baby, I still,
Right.
hey, listen, I still be Mrs. Smith if it was that easy.
I'm
Me and my
telling you.
daddy would be good. Me and
I'm
mama had the best relationship. Listen, in real time, it is no medicine. They got to do the work. They have to recognize their flaws. They have to
yes.
be okay and go back in time. And again, he got to work. He got to work on that thing with his mama before he did with anybody else.
Correct.
But
And
it
they're
ain't
not
about
gonna
me
do
no
that.
more. It's about the future now. Cause you're gonna do
Correct.
the same thing to me to the next one, but worse. You're gonna finish that
Correct.
one off. I got up
Yes.
out of there.
It's gonna keep going, and I'm thank God that you did, because they will kill you.
All praise.
Literally, they
And
will kill you.
that's
They
what
will
he tried
drive
to
you
do.
crazy.
Mentally
Like
kill my soul and spirit and who I was. Make, like you said, make you don't even recognize yourself in a mirror. I was overweight. I had inflammation. Talking about high blood pressure. I'm a natural certified natural herbalist. High blood pressure, huh? But
right,
it's but as
right,
soon as he leaves, 29 pounds gone, gut
right.
gone, no
Exactly.
headaches. You understand? Hair growing,
Yes.
skin going.
Yes.
Listen, ideas flowing. Can pray
Yes.
more, meditation
Yes.
more. Like everything changed. People, places, and things. When you change your environment,
Yes. Yes.
my goodness.
That narcissism is no joke. And I tell people about it. I was in a narcissistic relationship. And they always prey on people that's hard to get.
Yeah, they got
And
something
so
going.
yes. And
Yes.
so they are really easy to fool you because
My God, it looks so good when they come in. I ain't even gonna hold
yes,
you.
they will sweep you off your feet.
Listen, the best gas, the best
Yes.
regular gas in history.
And then you start being like, okay, wait, this
Is
too
this
good to
you?
be true.
Right,
And
because
then,
yeah.
and then,
I see my daughter is
mhm,
16, Micaiah. My baby
mhm.
said, it's something about him. It's more to him. He too quiet.
Yes,
The first month
yes,
or two we was married, my baby walked in the living room, looked at him,
hmm
walked back in the kitchen, grabbed my shirt like, come here, and said, it's more to him.
And it's sad that a babe shall know. And my daughter was able to recognize mine too. She said, I
Wow.
don't like him. I said, why? It's
Ooh.
something about him. I said, you don't know him. I
Yeah.
don't like him.
That spirit. That spirit. I had
Yes,
to see it to believe it.
same
But
here.
I tell any woman, please, the moment it feels like a competition, run.
Yes, yes.
When love
Because
feels like a chore,
yes.
run.
I told him one day, I'm not your enemy. I'm supposed to be your better half.
Thank you. We
We
ain't
not
competing.
fighting. We fighting against the wrong thing. We should be on the same team.
Yeah,
I
this
feel like you fighting
ain't the
against me.
Olympics. You ain't Hussein and I'm Shakiri. What's we
Right.
doing?
Right. It was
Yeah.
no teamwork. We were fighting against each other. And I'm
Yeah.
like, I even asked one day, are you jealous of me? Because they are
Mm-hmm.
very jealous. They are
Yeah.
very insecure and they very jealous.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like, are you jealous?
Yeah.
He was
Yeah.
like, no, I'm not jealous. So why are you trying to talk and use all these big words on me? It's just me. I'm at home, baby. I'm not trying to be educated at home.
That's it.
And
Now I'm trying to be Arlene. Don't put
exactly, I want
Dr.
you
in
to
front
see
of
the
me.
real me. And you up here trying to impress me, and I feel
Yeah.
like you're trying to compete against me, and where
Yeah.
it's always a competition. Now it's gonna turn into an argument, and now you're gonna swear you didn't say that, and I
Correct.
know I heard that, and then you're gonna be like, "See, you can't
You're
hear."
always
No, I
tripping.
can
It's
hear.
you. Yeah,
And
you
then
the
you
problem.
always want to nag. You always
Put
want
it
to argue. You always want to fuss. And
mind
then what they
control,
good at
mind
is
game.
they say that and they walk away. They want
Mhm.
to get what they get in, walk out the room because they don't want to deal with the truth.
That's the
And
power.
yes, and they want to leave you sitting there confused and you question yourself. And
Mm.
that's where that manipulation and that gaslighting is. And it's an
Mhm.
old movie that came out called Gaslighting. And it
It
was
is.
based off
I,
a
I
narcissistic
saw it.
movie.
Somebody put it on TikTok. They said for every woman going through a divorce, go watch Gaslighting. Baby, listen. Even the polygamy movie. Listen,
Yes.
man, we're gonna have to have another conversation because listen,
Yes.
you need to sing some stuff. But listen, with that
Yes.
polygamy movie, and then listen, men are off the chain. Just
Yes, they
know
are.
that. Hey,
Yes, they
ladies,
are.
don't try Polly. Hey,
Yeah. No,
don't
no.
try Polly. I promise.
If
And
you can't do just regular what is it,
polygamy,
monogamy, you definitely
monogamy.
ain't gonna be doing poly. Cause baby,
Listen,
just regular single ain't gonna work. Cause they ain't gonna be
I
with you
can't share.
already.
I can't share it. My mind ain't gonna let me in.
But they want to share. They want to share when they narcissists. They have no
Nah,
loyalty to
you can't do nothing.
anybody.
You can't have nobody, but they can
Nope.
have all y'all.
And
But you
can look
can't
at
go.
you and lie, have you so doggone confused. I was so like honestly, I used to check his phone log because he had me so confused. I would see him on the phone in the car pulling up, and he would swear to me that he wasn't on the phone. And I'm like, but I saw you on
Yeah,
the phone
and then
at
you
the
put the
park.
phone down real fast.
Yeah.
Oh, I
And
saw
he's
the
like,
light because
I
it's nighttime.
wasn't.
Yeah,
And
all right.
it had me tripping. I ain't lying. I started checking like, okay, at 5:05 when I pulled up, and he'd be at the park in his car. He wouldn't
Yeah,
pull up into the driveway, and I'm like, why you didn't pull up? We we
listen.
live in the neighborhood. Ain't no traffic, baby. Just you just turn right and pull into the driveway.
Yeah, that's all
Well,
you gotta do, and jump out, grab your
yeah, nah,
bag and your
that
phone.
wasn't me. That
Oh,
wasn't
okay,
you.
now I'm crazy.
And would
Yeah,
swear
I'm crazy.
that and so that's when I started checking the phone logs. And
Yep,
so it would drive you to
yep,
guessing,
yep. No,
second guessing everything. And
hey,
so, with those type of people, you have to go no contact.
right.
The
Yeah, I
solution is
had to
no
because it was gonna drive me
contact.
crazy. Like to wake
Yes.
up, go separated, going through a divorce, just not legally separated, just living in two separate homes, and
Mm-hmm.
somebody send me a video with my husband on a dating show.
Mm-hmm.
Talking
That's
about he looking to
ridiculous.
be married again and have
That's
another
ridiculous.
child and
And
hadn't done nothing for that one, and it had
I
already
was
been
gonna
nine,
say
ten
that
months.
exactly. That's ridiculous.
Huh? You
And
talking? Do
that's
you know how
enough to make
embarrassing
you.
that was?
Oh, I can only imagine. I can only imagine.
Listen, you can go
It,
on pop the balloon all you want, baby, but handle
correct.
that business.
Right.
Where that
Exactly.
paperwork were.
Exactly.
Affairs amongst men. Handle that.
Yes. Exactly. Take care of what you're
Baby,
supposed to do and do the right thing.
listen.
Sign off on your divorce. If you don't want to be with somebody, sign off and leave them alone. And when you are a narcissist, even though you're not going to admit it, ladies, go no contact.
Thank
because
you.
they're going to keep on contacting you and making you question yourself. Until you block them, until you're ready to block them, you're going to keep going back.
I concur. I mean it, and that's what I had to do. A lot of my good girlfriends, shout out to Cuzzo, shout out to all my cousins and friends that say, "Hey, don't go on this page. Don't go look."
Mm-hmm.
You understand? Unless it's concerning your son, don't be
Yes.
concerned.
Yes.
I had
Because it's going to
it's
drive
gonna
you
drive me
crazy.
crazy because to get on somebody's page and see you being talked about every day, but they
Exactly.
also talked about the Most High. So I said, okay, it is what it is.
Yes.
So
But
yeah,
you know it
it's
hurts
even more so
still.
because wanting wanting to go see somebody downgrade you is crazy. So again, I had to take a step back. Again,
Yes.
you got to self reflect. I'm
Yes.
always in the mirror, so I'm gonna always talk about the left side and the right.
Yes. And that's what you have to do. You
Yeah,
got to be real with yourself and see what you did and what you contributed. But you also got to be a realist and know that you didn't cause this person to be a narcissist
correct.
and
I'm
you
not
didn't
the
ask for them
reason
to
they
come into
did
your
that.
life.
Because I had someone say, when they was like, "Oh, he left. Oh, he was cheating with the baby mother. Oh, he was." Well, what did you do? And
Nothing. Just be me. Just be me.
I
Because
hate.
see, you can't control a grown person and you can't control a grown man actions and he's supposed to be the head. So it ain't nothing you did.
Thank you.
And that's what you got to tell yourself as a woman or anybody out there.
Thank you.
If you're with a narcissist, it ain't nothing that you did. Other than wrong was mess with them
Yeah.
and get tied up and tried up in entanglement with them and believe their lies and believed in their manipulation and their gaslighting. But at the end of the day, you're going to have to decide when you want to do no contact is the only treatment for you.
Yeah.
You're going to have to shut that door and go no contact. If you
Yeah.
don't go no contact, you're going to keep going in the vicious cycle and repeating it
Yep.
over and over and over.
And
Because your
thank God.
boundaries, you're breaking your boundaries. You ain't
Yep.
created boundaries. And if
Thank
you
God I'm
do,
out the cycles. And again, I had to. Someone had to say it for me to understand. You putting yourself through that misery. Why?
yes,
Again, why you want to go see it? If it's
yes,
not dealing with your son, move
yes,
around, little girl. And that's what I did. I
yes.
said, girl, pull yourself, get yourself together.
But how long did it take for you to get there? Because I know it wasn't just a one time
Oh, not at all.
conversation.
The
You
past
kept going back,
divorce,
I'm sure.
the divorce. So June 22nd, 2022. So now we about 2 months in. I've
So you see, and so it's a cycle,
Yeah.
and we
So
got
it
to
was a
break
full
that
year. It
cycle.
took a year. It took a full year.
Yeah. And you
It
got
took
to
a full
work
year.
on you. And that's what I'm saying. It's not as simple as it sounds. And I understand that because I've been through it and I'm still in therapy for things. So
Yeah.
that's why I'm saying, like, I know it sounds so simple to go no contact, to leave them. And I know it has to be on your own terms, but ladies and men or whoever, journal, journal, journal. And
Yeah.
the reason that we say ladies with narcissism, because the majority of narcissists are men. So
Correct.
let's be clear, we're not male bashing, but statistically, the majority of narcissistic people are men
Thank you.
via studies. And so that is why we specifically said that.
Yeah.
So yeah, don't get that twisted either.
Yeah, well, look,
Yeah.
we talking number facts. Hey, she got PhDs around here, so you already know she's saying the truth. We ain't got to fact check nothing. You
You're right.
understand? But
Exactly.
listen, I know before you get out of here, I know time is money, money is time. I appreciate you. I'm so thankful that you came on to talk to your girl. You understand, Dr.
Yes.
Arlene Harden. If there's
Thank you
anything
so
you could say
much.
to the men and women of all communities about mental health, loving yourself, and how to push forward. All that in one for the
Mhm.
rest of this year to take with them.
I would say continue to move forward and don't look back. Journal, journal, and learn to take it one day at a time, one day at a time, sometimes 1 hour at a time, and keep moving forward.
And make y'all appointments. Quit booking and then don't call and don't be
That's
canceling
right.
y'all appointments. Make y'all appointments and communicate.
That's right. That's right.
Like communicate, because I can. You could have been gone at 4, and you thought you had a
Yes,
3:15. You could have got out
that's
of there extra
right.
45 minutes early.
Yes, say less on that. Yes.
So listen, communicate, reschedule, press C in the text messages, opt in, opt out. But quit playing
Yes,
with the medical field
that's
because we
so
need you
true.
all. We love you all. I thank you so
Yes, we
much.
do.
I'm
Thank
so humbled
you.
to be your niece. I'm so humbled just to see you go from where I've watched you as well as you watched me, but I've watched
Yes.
you, so it's a
Thank
beautiful
you.
thing. And again, I thank you so much. I love you, and
I
shout
love
out
you
to the
too.
Black Girl Magic and the doctors in
Yes.
Texas because they do
Yes.
everything big in Texas, baby.
That's right. We doing it big.
That's right. And I love you. Peace and love, and
I
have a
love you
great
too,
week.
baby.
All
Thank you.
right,
You
peace,
too. And
peace.
stay blessed.
Absolutely, peace, peace.
Peace out.
All
Bye
right,
bye.
episode 1. It's a wrap.